The next call is a split call. Catherine Delahunty, 5 minutes.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Kia ora anō ki te whare. I'm delighted to have 5 minutes on this bill. It's not often that the member, Mr Bishop, and I agree on things. Not often. However, today we are in beautiful accord because I think that he's put forward a constructive bill that will be genuinely useful to a lot of people and will send out the right signals about how our society and our parliament values this kind of effort. It is interesting though because it's not very free market, is it? Because really the market should decide. So if your organ's failing, well, you should be able to, go out and get one on the market. Hey, why would government step in? According to the pure market ideology, which I often hear spouted in this House. However, Mr Bishop's bill is actually a lot more constructive than the market. He has done something positive which will allow people to be incentivised to do this because they will have their income protected, and that is part of the role of the state. And good on him for standing up for the full role of the state and protecting the interests of all of its citizens. So we're very pleased to support this bill. And I also congratulated him on getting the bill selected. I've had 5 bills selected, but because for some really peculiar reason, I don't know why mine haven't gone through in the same way with the same consensus around the House. I don't understand this. Mine are equally constructive, passionately argued, beautifully designed bills, but for some reason, numbers is the only thing that counts around here, which is a tiny bit depressing. However, I will not give up, and I'm sure I'll have more bills selected, and I just want to, I wish him all the best for having got this far with this level of consensus. So this issue is, it was debated at length in the committee stages of the House. For some reason it was exhaustively debated in the committee stages, but I think that it's brought everybody to a very positive place, and it's really good to hear, for those of us who weren't on the Select Committee, how the Select Committee operated constructively to improve the bill, how much good work that those members all did to make this bill better. And that's what's supposed to happen, and it isn't always what happens. Someone comes up with a good idea, it might be a bit rough around the edges. Select Committee puts in, listens to the people, hears good submissions, makes good changes, government listens, and you get a better result for everybody. I wish that happened every day at my Select Committee. Sometimes I wonder exactly what's going on when we continue to listen to people who tell us things and then they get ignored because the government won't listen to them. But not in this case. We have a bill that everybody is happy to support. It contains really useful provisions, and I'm delighted that the Select Committee persuaded the government, or not the government, the owner of the bill, that we should go from 80 to 100% compensation, because there are hidden costs. There are huge stresses, and there is huge courage involved with people who donate organs. So I think that's excellent. The wider issue of organ donation is actually obviously concerning when we look at the statistics, and I agree with my colleague Julianne Genter. The statistics for something like diabetes is appalling, but it's complex culturally. I have met people who are reluctant to see their family members hand over their organs for reasons that are not just, cannot be characterised as selfish or even disrespecting the wishes of their loved one, because their loved one is them. And the idea of individual rights and individual rights to dispose of your organs is all very well for people who see the world entirely as individuals, but it's not so simple when you have a more culturally interconnected view of whanaungatanga, for example. And so it's not simple, and I think we should be respectful of that. The other parallel I'd like to make with this bill is I hope that the next bill that Chris Bishop puts up is for supporting more paid parental leave, because it's the same principle. Here we have people at a time in their life when they are vulnerable, when they're contributing something wonderful, a baby or a kidney or a liver, they're all wonderful things. And yet the government doesn't seem to see the reason to support paid parental leave to the extent that they really should for the benefits of families. And yet it's a similar thing. It's about saying at certain times there needs to be financial remuneration because the person is automatically not able to work. They really need time off work. They're doing something very positive, and it's a really critical time in their recovery if they've donated an organ. It's a critical time in their life if they've had a baby. I don't see the difference. I think it's the role of us, the state, to provide these things, and I look forward to Chris Bishop supporting extending paid parental leave for the same reasons as he's put up this excellent bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr.
Ko
Speaker.
Reno Tira